Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Before I start this video, I just want to briefly mention that, as you probably know, I did mention in one of my last videos, I am starting a new job in a few weeks, so videos are going to be less, but I thought of a plan. Obviously, when I start picking more stuff up again after I've had my first pay, I'm thinking of doing sort of like a reboot in the channel, sort of. And the idea is that I think once a week I'll do like an unboxing delivery pickup video, because I know a lot of people watch that. And then the other video a week, it'll be 2 videos a week. I've not decided on the days yet. And the other video during the week will be like a review video of all the films that I have watched during that week. I have got a letterboxd account, and I used to review films as soon as I watched them, but it got a bit too much because I was watching a lot of films and I was busy, and I just decided to stop it. But once I have my job, obviously because I'm going to be watching less films, because I'm going to have to, I'm not going to be able to watch as many films as I do at the moment, should be more capable to review those films on Letterboxd. And then I will obviously do a weekly review video reviewing every film that I've watched during that week. See how that goes. I'm also thinking of doing like a logo for the channel to make it a little bit more professional. I did consider whether or not to do an intro, because I know some people have intros, but I watched a specific person. I'm not going to name anybody's names because then people will think that I'm copying someone else's channel, but I'm not. I just like a specific person's channel and think that they're successful. I want to kind of do the same sort of thing that they do. But that's the person that I'm talking about. They don't have intro for their video, don't have outro. They've got a logo and that's it. And they've got a lot of subscribers. And I think as long as you've got an audience, and people enjoy watching your videos, I don't think it particularly matters. So I will just be doing a logo for the channel. But I thought I'd just mention that briefly, because some people may be interested what's going to happen, because I did mention a new job, and obviously I can't make the sort of videos that I do now, and a lot of the videos I do now are very general, and I think it's better when you know what you're going to get, and when you're going to get it. So as I said, because I haven't started this job yet, I cannot say what days I'm going to do it, because I'm not going to have time all the time. I'm thinking more than likely, because I know not a lot of people post on a Sunday, so I'm thinking one of those videos will probably be on a Sunday. More than likely that will be the review videos, because that's at the end of the week, so I could do the whole week before. And then maybe in the middle of the week, maybe a Wednesday or Thursday, I'll do my pickup haul. But it's not going to be everything I got. Say I got 2 hauls in one week, it'd just be the one haul, and then the following week you'll get to see the second haul, because it's just easier that way. It means I've got more videos. So yeah, I just thought I'd quickly mention that before I get started with the video. And this video is obviously continuing from one of my last videos, where I did a top 10 comedies that I recommend people watching. This time it's romantic dramas, which is my favourite genre. I know not a lot of people are interested in this particular genre. Some people aren't even interested in these videos, but I have fun making them, and I like to just get my opinions on different films out of what films I like and what films I don't like. So I thought I'd do this. The next genre being romantic drama, and my honourable mention is Safe Haven. Now this is an adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' novel, and he's done quite a few films in this list. Towards the top, this stars Josh Duhamel and Julianne Hough, and is directed by Lasse Hallström. And it's been a while since I watched this, but with all Nicholas Sparks films, there's sort of a twist towards the end, and I really liked it. Basically centers around this woman, and she's a fugitive, and you don't know why, and she goes into this small village, if you will, moves to this small village, and falls in love with the local. I think he's just he runs like a local convenience shop or something, but he's a widower. And yeah, it's just a really nice film. I would call it a feel good film. If you like romantic dramas, it's not a bad film to start watching if you don't watch romantic dramas. Um, but it is an honourable mention because it isn't the best. It's quite generic, but I still enjoy it nonetheless, and I wanted to include it on the list even if it is just as an honourable mention. So that is Safe Haven. Next up is The Time Traveler's Wife, starring Eric Bana and Rachel McAdams. This is pretty good actually. I'm just hinting, you probably know what film I'm talking about when I says there is another Rachel McAdams film further up on this list. Um, but yeah, this is basically about a man, and he basically travels through time and he can't control it. But he's in Rachel McAdams' character's life. They fall in love, but he obviously can't always be with her, and he leaves during moments that she doesn't really want him to leave, but it's out of his control. And it's about their love and their bond, um, and their life together basically. And it's a really good love story. Um, as I say, um, like a lot of these based on novels, um, but it's just about their love, and as I say, I love love stories. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. If you like, especially because it's got that time travel element to it, which makes it a bit more interesting. Um, and you don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, that's The Time Traveler's Wife, which is number 10. Next up, another one that's based. In fact, let me look now. I think all of these. No, I think it's only a few that are based on novels. Um, the ones in the middle aren't, but I know these next two are. Next one is Me Before You, Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin. Obviously, as I say, based on a novel. And this is about a rich man who gets in an accident and is no longer able to walk or care for himself. So his parents get in someone that can look after him, a caregiver, in the form of Emilia Clarke's character, and they basically end up falling in love. Um, but he's had to give up everything because he can do what he used to do for work or anything, and it's just about them changing each other's lives, falling in love whilst doing it, and it's just a really good love story. Um, as I say, most of these are, which are why they are on this list. Um, yeah, British as well, and I do like British films. I think it may be the only British one on this list. Yeah. Um, so, yeah, definitely recommend this because it's a really good film. So yeah, not much else I can say about that. Next up is The Fault in Our Stars. I rewatched this last year. I believe I hadn't seen it before since it had originally come out. This is based on a John Green novel, and obviously stars, as you can see from the front, Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort. Also stars Laura Dern and Willem Dafoe, and is about a young girl who has a terminal illness. I believe it's leukemia. I could be wrong though, and a boy who also has an illness, terminal illness, and it's about them helping each other cope, and love, and just live, how to live, and yeah, it's just a really good film. So I'd recommend it. If you like these types of films, it is sad, as are most of these films. Usually, with romantic dramas, someone dies in it. Obviously, someone dies in this, as probably in the last three as well. They died. So yeah, but I would recommend this. Good teenage film as well. So yeah, that's The Fault in Our Stars. Next up one that you could also consider this a rom-com, because it sort of is, but there are also drama elements to this. It is also quite serious in the plot, but that it is funny at the same time. There are moments that will make you laugh. But that is the Big Sick, which is obviously based on the true story of Kumail Nanjiani, who plays himself in this film, and his wife, and how they meet and how they fall in love. And obviously he wants to be a stand-up comedian, and he falls in love with this grad student, Emily, and at first it just starts off as a one-night stand, but then it becomes more. But then she has a mystery illness, which means she's in a coma, and it's about him coping, meeting her parents, and dealing with their her family, his family, because his family want him to marry a Muslim girl, you know, like very traditional, and yeah, it's just a really good film. There are moments that will make you cry. There's definitely moments that will make you laugh. The acting in this is really good. I like that Kumail plays himself in this film. I think that was really good choice. And I like that her parents are played by Holly Hunter and Ray Romano, who have really good chemistry with each other, bounce off of each other, and yeah, I just think it's a really enjoyable film. Definitely recommend it. So yeah, that's The Big Sick. Next up is probably my oldest film on this list. It is early 80s film, and that is An Officer and a Gentleman, obviously starring Richard Gere and Deborah Winger, directed by Taylor Hackford. Obviously about this, he's a bit of a loner, and he decides to become a Navy pilot, so he has to go to Navy school, and it's the romance of it is kind of in the background. It's more about him and his training, and he's got like this really a bit not as harsh as, not, although I've not seen this other film I'm about to mention, but you can kind of relate it to Full Metal Jacket, as in the first half, from what I've heard of that film, is very hard training, and their drill instructor's quite harsh on them. Same in this film. And in the background, it's about him falling in love with this woman that comes onto the base every now and then, and his friendship with another trainee, and it's just a really good film. It won 2 Academy Awards. I think it was for Best Supporting Actor, but I don't know what the other one was for. I believe Louis Gossett Jr. won Best Supporting Actor. I could be wrong then. But it's a really good film, good 80s film. And yeah, recommend that if you are into those sorts of films. An Officer and a Gentleman. I don't know what number we're at now. I'll let you know when we get to the top 3 though. Next up is If I Stay. This stars Chloe Grace Moretz. And this is also based on a novel. I don't think the last 2 weren't, and I'm just checking. The next one that isn't either, but then the last 3 are. And this stars Chloe Grace Moretz, and she plays a girl who basically, her and her family are involved in a car accident, and she's basically in a coma, and she's got to decide whether it's worth just letting go and dying, or fighting and living, basically. And most of the film's in flashbacks, looking at her love between her boyfriend here, and the love of her family, and just trying to work out whether she wants to stay or go, like as it says by the title. And yeah, really enjoyable film. Not too long either, just over an hour and a half. So yeah, definitely recommend that one, If I Stay. Next up is one difficult to really put in a category, this film. It's got some elements of comedy to it, but I'd say it's more of a drama over a comedy, and it is a romance story like going through it, and that is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I believe this is number 4. Obviously starring Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet, and it's about a couple, and the woman in the relationship decides she wants to go and get her brain wiped of all memories of Jim Carrey's character, who is obviously her partner, um, and she has all of her memories of him erased from her mind. And he decides he wants to do the same. He's a bit depressed, so he decides he's going to do the same thing. But whilst he's in the process of doing it, he decides he doesn't really want to do this and he wants to fight for their love. So, in his consciousness, whilst the treatment's being undergone, he's trying to fight and break free with her in his mind. To try, it's quite confusing, but once you watch it, you won't get confused. It's really good. I like the only Charlie Kaufman films that I've really loved are this and Being John Malkovich. I think all of his other films have been very meh. Well, the ones that I've seen. Um, but this is fantastic. It's about basically seeing how far you'll go for love, how much you'll fight, and yeah, just a really good film. Casting is absolutely spot on, and it's Jim Carrey. I truly believe he's better in dramatic roles. That's just me. I don't really like many of his comedy roles. Quite controversial. I don't like The Mask. I don't like the Ace Ventura films. Dumb and Dumber's okay. Liar Liar's good. Yes Man's really good. That's probably my favourite of his comedies. He was good in Sonic, you know. But this is really good. Obviously, The Truman Show is one of my favourite films. So, and I love Kate Winslet as well. So yeah, definitely recommend this. It's a really good film. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is number 4. And now getting into my number 3, which are all Nicholas Sparks adaptations. And number 3 is The Best of Me. I wasn't expecting to like this film as much as I did. I watched this fairly recently, but I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. It was mainly the twist at the end that really got me, because it was like quite a shocking twist. But it's basically about these two high school lovers. They were in love when they were in high school, like deeply in love, like true love. Something happens and they're separated from each other, and then it's 20 years later and they meet again for a funeral in their town, and they like kind of reignite their love for each other. You just look back at what their love was like when they were teenagers, and it's a really good love story, and it's about true love, how far you'll go for love, and yeah, just a really good film. Really like this. Best of Me, which is number 3. And then this may come to a surprise for some people, because most people would probably expect this to be number 1, because this is probably considered the greatest romantic drama of all time, or at least one of them. This is my number 2, and that is The Notebook. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. Obviously, again, about teenagers who fall in love with each other, but they're not allowed to be in love. Her parents don't want her to be with him, and again, they're separated, but they come back together, and it's just their love story. Obviously, it basically starts with an older man telling this story to this woman in a retirement home. I'm not going to give away anything. And yeah, it's just a really good film, and the ending is really sad as well. But it's very well done. So yeah, that is The Notebook, which is number 2. And as I said, this may surprise some people, but this just, I don't know why. I've seen this twice. I watched this twice in a week this year. But for some reason I really like this. I don't know why we've not got a Blu-ray release of this. Definitely deserves a Blu-ray release, because I consider this the best romantic drama of all time. Again, Nicholas Sparks adaptation, and that is A Walk to Remember, starring Mandy Moore and Shane West. It's about a setting, again, with most of these high school teenagers, and it's about the cool kid who gets into trouble and just don't really care, and a girl who's like a straight A student, doesn't want to get involved in it, but for one reason or another they fall in love for each other and realise they got feelings for each other, and then that is all I'm gonna say, because that's all I knew going into this. That's all I knew from the trailer. Doesn't give anything away, and then something happens towards the end, and I'm like, whoa, did not see that coming. Which is why I've put it right at the top, because it's just a really well done film. It's made me want to read the book, and I don't really read books anymore, although I've got loads of them. But yeah, really love this film. If I could recommend any on this list to you, if you want to watch a romantic drama, I'd go for this one, because this is my favourite. It's one of the only films that manages to make me cry, and just a really good film. So yeah, that is A Walk to Remember, which is number one. And that is it. So that is recommendations for romantic dramas for you. My top 10 with an honourable mention. Have you seen any of those? What do you think of any of those if you've seen them? Are there any that you now really think that, yeah, you're going to give them a go? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. If for some reason you didn't like the video, then by all means give it a dislike. But if you do choose to dislike the video, I'd appreciate it if you let me know why down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded onto the channel. Comment down below anything, everything as I said. Have you seen any of them? Do you now want to go and watch any of them? Anything? I'll get back to anyone that takes the time to leave me a comment, because I really appreciate it. And that's it. So until next time everyone, take care. Goodbye.